My name is Vishal Singh and I'll be teaching you chess today. So in the previous class, we continued with the checkmating using the queen, and we'll be continuing that today as well. So a lot we have a lot of puzzles about the checkmating with the queen because it's fun and it's actually quite useful in the game as well. So okay, we'll start with today's class. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this was the last puzzle that we had done, and the answer to this was again quite simple. It was queen to d4, and the reason the king cannot escape behind here at c2 and e2 is the rook. Rook is covering the entire second rank as its attack page, so there is actually no space for the king to run anywhere. The queen is occupying the upper four blocks, and the rook is occupying the lower three blocks. Got it? So this was the answer to the previous example. Let's move on to the next one now. Okay. So in this one, you are playing as black. This is a little interesting again. You're not only using one piece or two pieces. You are utilizing more than two pieces in this one. So it is a little interesting. Give it a thought. Pause the video for 2 minutes if you need it. Come up with a solution and let's see if our solution is too much. Okay, so go ahead. Pause the video. All right. So what do you think the answer could be? Well, you obviously see your queen and your rook are in the same file, meaning they can easily support each other. Meaning the rook can easily support the queen if the queen were to break through the defenses of the white. But looking carefully, the enemy also has a rook here on the second rank, meaning if the defense is broken, the rook can easily save the king without losing without taking a major damage or avoiding the checkmate, honestly. So what the answer should be according to you. Look carefully, the answer is right there in front of your eyes. Okay, so I'll tell you the answer. The answer is still queen to g2. You might be wondering why cannot my... See, I'm trying to click, the computer isn't giving me an option to move the rook at all. The white rook. Okay, so this is a check. The king has nowhere to go. The reason I'm not able to capture the black queen, the white is not able to capture the black queen, would be my bishop here at d4. Because if you move the rook away out of the way, that would be a check again, and that would be an illegal move. I remember I told you in the previous classes, you cannot bring your king into a check. You cannot get yourself into a check. That is an illegal move. So for that purpose, you cannot move your rook out of there, because if you try to avoid one check by moving your rook, you will be driving yourself into another check that would be from the bishop. So you're not allowed to move your rook, and it would be a complete checkmate. The king has nowhere to go. Got it? Very simple. An interesting one, but still a simple one. Okay, let's head on to the next one. Okay, so again the same kind of thing, but this time you're playing as white. So go ahead, tell me what the answer can be. Think for yourself and then come back and play the video. Okay, right. So the answer to this would be, again, you see again the same situation. The queen and the rook are in the same file, meaning they can support each other. And all right, first let's play queen to a7, and again this would be a checkmate because I'm still not able, because the black is not able to move the rook out of the way. The reason being the bishop again here at g2. It has been laser beaming the king and the rook from afar away. As soon as the rook is out of the way, or if the rook tries to capture the queen in order to get rid of the check from the queen, the black will drive itself into another check because of the bishop. So that is not possible. Again, this is a complete checkmate for the king. The king is under direct check from the king, from the white queen, and it cannot escape to b8 as well, because the queen's attack range still extends over there as well. Okay. The whole game over here, why it was a checkmate, was because of the bishop. Because if the bishop was not here, the enemy would have just eaten the captured our queen. Okay. Right. Let's Okay, this is very simple. Okay, you are playing as white in this one. This is very simple. Just pause for 10 seconds or something, uh, and then come back. Let's see if our solutions do match. Okay, you are playing as white. I did mention that. So the answer to this one is very simple. You just play queen to f8, and the king is blocked. It cannot come towards the queen anymore because that would still be a check, and cannot move down as well because its own pieces are blocking its way. Okay, so this is a very simple checkmate, the easiest probably. Okay. All right, you're playing as white in this one. Okay, yeah, you are playing as white in this one. Go ahead, pause the video, see what where and what your pieces are, what can you do, how can you utilize them. Come back and let's see if a solution do match. Okay, so the answer to this one would again be queen to h7. The reason being same, you cannot move your rook at all. Why? Because my bishop is laser beaming at your king. The moment the rook is out of the way, it will be a check to the black king, and you cannot get yourself into a check. That is an illegal. So the king is trapped because of the queen, and the rook cannot be utilized because of our bishop. Got it? So this is why it is a checkmate again. Okay, next one. Okay, you're playing as black in this one. Again, this isn't very hard. Pause the video for a few seconds. Let me let me know if a solution is too much. Okay, do pause the video. Go ahead. All right. Okay, so the solution to this would be very simple again. We need to capture the white king. You are playing as black. If you look carefully, your queen has its attack range extended till h1, meaning this and this block, the g2 and h1 block are under our control already. The king cannot move to h2, f2, or f1. Why? Because the king's own pieces are over there. You cannot jump on your own piece. So the only option king has to move is g2 and h1, which are under our queen's control. The only reason this is not a checkmate is king is not directly under any kind of check. If you see carefully, your queen is can be supported by the bishop if utilized in a perfect manner, right? So the answer to this would be queen to g2 and not g2 actually. The answer to this would be queen to h1, and this would be a complete checkmate. So the king cannot escape towards the left due to the bishop, cannot stay in the same spot because because the king will be under direct check, and cannot go up because again the queen and the bishop both have that attack range on g2. The reason you cannot play it to g2 would be the bishop can easily capture your queen, and the exchange is probably not worth it. 9 points for 3 points, definitely not a good option, right? Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, again, a little different pattern, but something similar we've done already. So you are playing as white. It should be very easy for you guys. I am pretty sure. So you're playing as white, and let me know what can you do to make this a checkmate. Okay, to win this game. Okay, hopefully you did pause the video and come back. Let's see what are the options the enemy king has to move. So these are the current options the king has to move. Okay, let's eliminate d6 out of the way because the queen and the rook are there. So let's eliminate e6 and f6 as well. Definitely not d5 because of the queen again. Definitely not d4 because of the pawn here at c3, and not f4 as well because of the pawn at g3. So basically, the king has no place to go. It is just not directly under check at the given moment. Okay, so what you can do is simply queen to d5. By doing so, you have covered all the blocks that were already covered, to be honestly, and it is directly under check as well. We can also play rook to e6. This would still be a checkmate, but again, we are doing checkmating using the queen. So this would be a completely good, a normal and okay option as well. But the correct answer would then be, yeah, queen to d5. Got it? Okay. So that was all for today. I again hope you guys enjoyed, had a lot of fun, and most importantly, you guys learned something. Okay. So we'll be continuing this again in the next class. Hope you guys enjoyed. So have a nice day. Bye bye.